I present to you the definition of... Just kidding, I did that for the older brother. With us today, we have the younger, bolder brother of the all-new Oppo Find X9 Pro, the one and only OnePlus 15. The design is of course very similar to that of the Oppo Find X9 Pro, understandably so, since they come from the same family. We do get the action button right here as well. No camera trigger though. In terms of build quality, I believe this is the most premium OnePlus phone ever so far. The material that they have used, especially on the side here, according to OnePlus, is a new sort of thing that's supposedly several times tougher and several times more effective in heat dissipation than titanium. Now I can't vouch for that just yet, but I guess we'll find out a little more about it in a second. Wink wink. Hardware-wise, it's only the best of everything. The gist of it of course being the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 7300 mAh silicon carbon battery. And software-wise, of course, I've already set up the phone, sorted out my notifications, got my Google services up and running, with Circle to Search right here on the side, and dedicated my shortcut button to the live screen translate feature. But I'm not going to talk about that anymore because it's literally the same thing as the Oppo Find X9 Pro in terms of software and UI. So moving on from that, let me just quickly point out something about the new speaker system. So in terms of software and sound effects and all that, we do get the usual. But in terms of overall sound quality, again, I do believe that this is OnePlus's best so far. The speakers do sound noticeably better than on the big brother. And of course, we also get OnePlus's exquisite vibration system, OHaptics. And as for the display, this time around we're getting a marvelous 165Hz panel, which is an industry first. No, not really. That may sound right to you if you have a fruit for a logo on the back of your phone, but it's definitely not right to us. We've definitely had 165Hz panels before. It was actually back in 2022 with the ROG phone, if I remember correctly. But then again, we're hoping that the technology is now matured, and with some more horsepower that's available to us now, we're hopefully able to actually utilize that. Alright, so moving on from all that, it's time to get to the good stuff, which is of course a wildlife extreme stress test, and that can only start with a bit of help from my little toy right here. So on the front, we've got about 31 degrees, and on the back it's going to be about the same. Yeah, 31. That's probably it. Alright, enough with the pleasantries. Let's get right to it. Newsflash. 18 loops in. It crashed due to high temperature. Let's just do a quick check before anything. Wow, that is scorching hot. That's 51 degrees on the front. And about the same on the back. This is really, really high. Like I can barely hold the phone. Let's just give it a couple minutes to cool down a little. I mean, it's not laggy, but like it's definitely not as smooth as it was when we started. I'll be with you in a sec. Alright, I'm back. I didn't really want to wait a lot because temperature is dropping by the second. We're back on 43 or 42 or below 40 at some spots. So 41 and about 43 on the front. So while it definitely is catastrophic and really shameful that we didn't even get to finish the test, I do have a few things to note. For starters, I'm not sure if this was visible in the time lapse, but performance-wise, this phone was doing a really, really solid job. So it could very well be a case where OnePlus just trusted their new material and new cooling system too much and defined their throttling threshold way too high. I mean, if the outside of a phone is 51 degrees Celsius while doing a wildlife extreme stress test and we're still doing a stable frame rate, we probably shouldn't. Also, let's just not forget the fact that the phone literally just came out. I received my unit today. So, in all honesty, it could just be a little too soon at this point in time to do this kind of stress test. Also, to be totally fair, it's been a full 10 minutes, the screen has been on this entire time, and we're already back to 36 on the front, and about the same on the back, and that is, or 37. And that, I have to admit, is not really the most terrible thing. Also, I did play a little bit of Delta Force this morning, and it was, without exaggeration, the most pleasant experience of the game I've ever had. Now this was of course merely an initial look at the phone. I'll be doing a gaming review as well. I might also include some emulation because honestly, Android games are getting bigger in size but easier and easier for these new phones. Also, I will almost definitely repeat the stress test in a while from now after an update or two to see if the no throttling issue has been taken care of. Alright, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for my future videos. Until the next one, peace out.